Good afternoon and welcome to Lights of Love. My name is Surinder and I am the Bereavement Care Lead at Sobel House. I'm delighted to be here today to host this year's Lights of Love service. This has been a very challenging year for our community, particularly for those who have been shielding. The lockdown restrictions have meant that so many of us have been unable to see our family and friends, let alone visit a loved one in hospital, say a last goodbye, or pay last respects at the funeral. That's why, in this of all years, we want our Lights of Love's remembrance service to be for everyone who mourns a loss, no matter when and no matter the cause. Lights of Love is so special to us all, as it is an opportunity to come together to remember those who are no longer with us and celebrate their lives. Whilst we are saddened to be unable to gather with you in person this year due to government restrictions, my colleagues and I have transformed Lights of Love into this online service, and we are so pleased that you're able to join us. Today, we will experience heartwarming poems and songs, beautiful prayers and light and remembrance, and some quiet reflection time as we light the tree. Thank you for joining us and for supporting the invaluable care that Sobel House continues to give to local families throughout these times. Today's service is live from Sobel House, although some parts have been pre-recorded to ensure that we can include as many members of our staff and local community as possible. You may see some familiar faces, which we hope will bring some comfort. During the service, we will be sharing many moments of remembrance and reflection. We will be using our candles for this, so please do have yours to hand. As we were planning this year's service, we noticed a reoccurring theme, one of feeling or being alone. We know that we all experience grief differently, and coming together for a special service like this would normally give the physical presence of others and helps us to see that we are not alone. Even though we cannot meet in person, we hope joining us virtually will still give you the shared experience of togetherness that reminds us that we are not alone. I'd now like to introduce our ward sister, Christina Lovell, who will talk a little about the care Sobel House provides. This will be followed by one of our Sobel House chaplains, Graham, who will lead a prayer.
Lights of Love is always a very special event, partly because it brings us all together as a community. Even though we're unable to gather together for this year's service, there are around 500 of us tuning in from Oxfordshire, other parts of the UK, and even from overseas. And we're all here to support one another this afternoon and beyond. We hope that today's service brings great comfort to you and you're able to experience the warmth and love that comes from being part of something so very special. Sobel House Hospice cares for people of Oxfordshire in many different ways. At any one time, we are caring for around 500 patients across the county. Each year, we care for 300 to 400 patients on our hospice ward, more than 1,000 patients within the local hospitals, and over 1,000 patients in their homes or in care in the community. We believe that every adult across Oxfordshire should be able to die with dignity. Our services aim to improve not just the physical, but also the emotional and spiritual well-being of our patients. Thanks to our supporters and the charity team, we are able to offer music therapy, art therapy, on-site catering, a transport service, bereavement support, and many more home comforts. Once again, we thank you for being part of this special service and for being part of our Sobel community.
So let us take a time of silence to still our hearts and to remember all those who we love but who are no longer with us. Lift us from sorrow and restore our hope. In this strange and turbulent year, we acknowledge our pain and our confusion. We lay down our conflictedness because of the necessary restrictions imposed on visiting in the hospitals, in the hospice and in nursing homes. We give thanks for the valiant professionalism of all healthcare workers, particularly when they've had to hold the rules and struggle to do their best in these very difficult times. Reconcile our confusion. Now let us give thanks for the times that we did have together, for all the love that we shared. We recall those good memories we have of joyful times and of Christmases past. We give thanks for the fun, for the joy and the laughter, and ask that Christmas will bring us into a new light. Guide each faltering step we take. Wipe the tears from our eyes. Strengthen us when we are weary and the path is long, until we glimpse the dawn breaking over a new horizon, when we can rise again with hope, meet with those who share our loss, cry with them, tell stories, remember, laugh, and cherish the green growing shoots of new life. Give us peace this Christmas, and as we journey onwards into another year.
Thank you to Christine and Graham for your contributions. It's my pleasure to now introduce Nikki, a singer-songwriter whose mum was cared for by Sobel House in 2018, followed by our wonderful charity ambassador, Paul Shahidi, who has recorded a poem called Death is Nothing at All.
May the angels protect you, trouble neglect you, heaven accept you when it's time to go. May you always have plenty, the glass never empty, no in your belly, never alone. May your tears come from laughing, your fond friends worth having, with every person will mean more than never alone, never alone. I'll be in every beat of your heart. know this year's going to be a little different, but I hope you still all have a very happy Christmas. Goodbye.
Death is Nothing at All by Henry Scott Holland. Death is nothing at all. It does not count. I have only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by the old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes that we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without an effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well. Nothing is hurt. Nothing is lost. One brief moment and all will be as it was before. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again.
Thank you to Nikki and Paul for your contributions. At Sobel House, our staff so often tell me what a privilege it is to be able to care for the people we support. And because we couldn't gather and see you all in person, some of our team wanted to record a song for today's ceremony. They got together in one of our garden spaces to sing a special song called "We Will Always Remember You," which was written by Jane, who is one of our bereavement support volunteers.
Time to cry. We know that you've gone. Yes, we're moving on. We all miss you still and wonder why. We will always remember you. We can keep the memories of love for you. Photographs, your smile still makes my day. Memories that we have won't go away. We talk about you still, I'm sure we always will. I wish that you could hear the words we say. We will always remember. Wish that you could hear the words we say. We will always remember you. We'll keep the memories of love for you. We will always remember you. We'll keep your smile safe in our hearts forever. We'll keep your smile safe in our hearts forever. We will not forget as time goes by.
I'd now like to lead us through a prayer of remembrance. Every second line of this prayer is, "We remember them," and you are very welcome to join me in saying this each time, should you wish to. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. We are now going to take some time to pause and reflect on why we are here today and to remember our loved ones. You will see some of our wonderful nurses and doctors lighting candles in the chapel as we hear a poem called 4 Candles, which was recorded by Paul Shahidi. Please join me in lighting up your candles now and holding them during this time as a symbol of remembrance.
Four candles. The first candle represents our grief. The pain of losing you is intense. It reminds us of the depth of our love for you. This second candle represents our courage to confront our sorrow, to comfort each other, to change our lives. This third candle we light in your memory, for the times we laughed, the times we cried, the times we were angry with each other, the silly things you did, the caring and the joy you gave us. This fourth candle we light for our love. We light this candle that your light will always shine as we enter this holiday season and share this night of remembrance with our family and friends. We cherish the special place in our hearts that will always be reserved for you. We thank you for the gift your living brought to each of us. We love you. We remember you.
In a moment, we will light our special light of love's tree, which will remain lit until 12th night. Each light that shines on it symbolizes a much-loved person who will be remembered over the festive season and year-round. Once the tree is lit, it will remain on the screen in silence for 1 minute to give us time to reflect and remember. I hope seeing the tree being lit outside the hospice has brought you some comfort in helping us to remember loved ones. We invited you to tell us who you are remembering today, so we will now see a list of those names. They will appear alphabetically by surname to make it easier for you to spot. We will also see some of the beautiful memory stars that you have dedicated to your loved ones. That brings us towards the end of this year's Lights of Love service. We hope today's event has given you the chance to stop for a moment and of quiet reflection to remember and celebrate the life of your loved ones. Though we all grieve and miss our loved ones, we are not alone in this, and I hope that thought can bring some comfort when it is needed. To share a quote from A.A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh, "How lucky am I to have had something that makes saying goodbye so hard." I'd like to finish with a few thank yous. Thank you to those from our community and staff teams who have contributed to today's service with special words and songs. Thank you to those of you who have supported our work by making a donation to the Sobel House charity. We would also like to thank our sponsors, their generous support of Lights of Love this year. Thank you to the Sobel House charity staff and volunteers who have organised today's service. And most importantly, thank you to all of you at home once again for coming together in support of each other and to remember your loved one. We will now close the service, but leave you with some information of ways you can find bereavement support or get involved with the Sobel House charity if you would like. Thank you once again, and good evening.